What is up, you guys? This is Smoke here, and I got a few tips I wanted to drop on you guys before we started playing Ghost of Tsushima. Here in about a couple hours, we're going to be going live with it actually. But in the meantime, I'm going to make this very simple, quick, to the point video about a few points that I think that we all very importantly need to know before we actually play the game and jump into it. And these are some important facts that are going to help us not only get through the game a little easier than we would without knowing them, and there's a couple facts that we're going to want to know to avoid making a decision that we are going to regret throughout the entire game. Now, within the sense of trying to stay as on point as I can with this, I'm just going to jump straight into it, okay? Now, the first one is following the yellow bird. And as you see here in the clip that we're watching, following this yellow bird is actually going to lead you to a lot of interesting things that are sometimes quest givers, other times they could be cosmetics, and sometimes it could just be new areas of the map and so forth. But the thing to remember about this is it's always easy and worth it to follow the yellow bird, because 9 times out of 10 when the yellow bird does show up, it's going to be a very short distance that it's trying to lead you to, and that's basically what the bird is doing. It's trying to lead you to an area where you can pick up something of interest and very easily have a new cosmetic or a new quest to do. So that's the first tip that I'm going to offer you guys, is to always follow the yellow bird, and that's definitely very important. And so we'll jump on to the next thing. Don't get discouraged, you guys, from the first hour of the game, because it is more or less somewhat of an introductory tutorial, and it's there to basically explain a lot of more important things to you and how to play the game and stuff like that. The entire rest of the game is not like the first hour of the game, you guys, so do not get discouraged by that point, okay? There's just a little bit of a tutorial type thing like what we're watching right here in the beginning, and then the rest of the game is opened up for you to get into and explore. So anyways, with that being said, let's go on to our next tip, and that is to choose your horse very carefully, you guys. We're going to be able to have a horse to get us around the map and stuff like that throughout the game. We're actually going to be traveling by horseback, and that is very important to remember, that you want to choose your horse carefully, because you're not going to have a chance to actually edit or change your horse in the future. There's not going to be a stable or anything like that you're going to be able to change the cosmetics or customize your horse. So please do remember that you want to pick a horse that you're going to enjoy riding throughout the entire game. Next, we're gonna say this is not like Red Dead, you guys. There's no negative or positive reputation, okay? There's no good or evil path, alright? So basically, the narrative of the game is not affected by whether or not you decide that you want to go through the game killing everybody and hacking and slashing your way through it, and you're not going to be dishonorable because of using stealthy tactics, which in this game is considered to be dishonorable. But it's not going to affect the outcome of the game. You can play it however you like, and you don't have to worry about that negative impact. So there is no good or evil path. Just play it how you like. Next, we're going to say the best offense is a good defense, like what we're watching right here. Be careful to time your parries well and time your attacks well, because it's going to help you much more in the long run. Button mashing is not going to be your friend in this type of combat. It is not that type of combat. timing your parry just perfectly is actually going to help you to stagger your enemy, and it's going to open you up to be able to get a deadly strike and attack. So button mashing is not what you want to go for. You want to just take your time and practice your combat and actually work on getting the perfect parry and the perfect timing. That doesn't mean that you have to be in a defensive stance the entire time, but it definitely is going to make it much easier on you and a better combat if you're timing things well. So anyways, on to the next thing. So if you guys are frustrated by the combat and stuff like that, and things are getting a little too difficult for you, don't be afraid to set it to an easier difficulty and try that out for a while, because you can always set it to a harder difficulty later on. If you're one of those guys that can't stand to play a game on an easy difficulty and you have to put it to hard, like me, that's what I plan on doing, you can take solace in thinking about the fact that you will be able to at least set it to a higher difficulty later on if you, for the beginning of the game, decide to set it to an easy difficulty so you can learn the combat system. Don't stress it out. Don't worry about it. You can take the easy way if you have to in the beginning of the game. So moving on, if you do get overcome by a ton of enemies, just remember, and I'm going to try not to spoil anything here with this, but there is a quick throw mechanic. That's what we're watching right now, and you can basically throw something to distract an enemy, or even sometimes there'll be something that you can use it to blind an enemy, and it'll give you that chance to get away and try to make a different combat plan. But just always remember that you have the quick throw ability in R1, and that will help you so much if you're getting overcome and overwhelmed by a ton of enemies. Next, double up on leaders to unlock stances faster. If you're going through and you're clearing these camps, that's basically a lot of what we're going to be doing in this game. Just remember that killing the leaders are going to help you unlock stances and combat stances quicker. These combat stances could be anything from a defensive stance to a combat fighting stance. A defensive stance might help reduce damage and stuff like that. A fighting stance might help to kill enemies quicker at the risk of having some reduced damage reduction. So always remember to kill your leaders and enemies as often as possible, and that is going to help you unlock those stances quicker. Next, we're going to want to focus on the main story as much as we can, and then we will move on to trying to help out and figure out our allies. Okay, because if we focus on the main story, that's going to help us to unlock a lot of more important unlockables and possibly some new items quicker, and then that is going to help us to be able to do those ally missions much easier. So don't stray too far from the main storyline, you guys. It's going to help us to get a lot more unlocks and stuff like that that are going to help us to be able to finish the game easier and better for that matter. But anyways, let's move on to outfits. Talking about outfits, so outfits aren't just strictly for cosmetic purposes. Outfits actually do have an effect on the gameplay, where you could have an outfit that might help you be more stealthy, or an outfit that might help you have damage reduction, or an outfit that might help you do more damage for that matter. So you can make a habit of switching your outfit every time you're going into a new mission, and you can switch your outfit based on that mission to help you finish it easier, and and that's pretty cool. I really like that actually. So I'm going to be doing some videos that are actually explaining certain outfits for certain situations. I love making outfit tutorial videos, and this adds an even extra awesome dynamic to it, and is going to let us have some effects on the gameplay for this game. So I love that. I love that about it, and I can't wait to get into that, the customization part that we're probably going to watch right now. Then moving on, also, Jin has a flute ability where he can play the flute. And this feature is actually not explained too much by the game, but the flute can actually change the weather and affect the weather outcome that is currently going on. So if you want, you could change the weather to a clear skies, or you could change it to a stormy weather based on the situation, and you could actually use that to your advantage quite a bit, using that flute to change the weather and stuff like that. So you could actually swipe on the touchpad of the controller and take out the flute to play a different tune and change the weather. It's pretty awesome. Another important tip is materials. Always pick up as many materials as you can, you guys, because these are going to be used very often to craft new items, cosmetics, and important parts of the game. And don't forget those materials. They're very important. But if you're like me, you're playing this kind of game, I've played Last of Us 2, materials are very important, so definitely don't forget them. With that being said, that is just about the most important tips that I can come up with, that I've been able to find, that are going to help you guys. And with that being said, I look forward to playing this game quite a bit. I am very excited. I can't wait. And we're going to be going live with it in just a couple hours, and it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. And I'm going to be using this photo mode that we're watching right now quite a bit, and I can't wait to see you guys there. So you guys let me know what you thought about the video, if it's to the point enough, and if these tips helped you at all. And that's it. You guys have a good one. I hope this helped. Later you guys.